there we go. I'm not going to start immediately. We've still got 2 minutes to go on my computer clock, but I just wanted to sort of get the slides and everything ready for everyone. And who are we still waiting for? I think everyone is here from the key people that need to be here that are talking. Is there anyone that you guys know that is missing that I should wait for? Abigail, is there anyone, because I'm not seeing anyone from St. Andrews online here.
Hi, Anastasia Kalubas is here from St. Andrews.
Oh, sorry, Angelique and Anastasia. Welcome. Sorry, I can't.
Thank you.
I'm not seeing my screen properly anymore. So, great, lovely to have you guys.
Thank you.
Anastasia did some amazing work on HTML. So,
thank you.
Wonderful.
All right, so I think we are going to start. I see that we've got Naledi as well from, Naledi, are you from Nova Pioneer, right? It's Naledi Dijogo. Naledi, is that the right Naledi? Okay, we can't hear you, Naledi. I think you're muted, so it's all good. And then we got Joylyn as well. Welcome, everyone. So I'm going to officially kick off the TechWays Wow Awards. What outstanding work. This is something that we want to start doing every quarter. It's a chance really for us to honor the hard work that you guys are putting in on our platform, and the engagement and the questions and the interactions that we're getting from you. We love to see that. We love to see what you guys are building. We're looking at it all the time, and I promise you, I have dinner conversations with people to say you have no idea what the kids can do. I'm sorry that I'm calling you kids, but I'm a bit older, so I'm allowed. So what we are planning for you today is I want to give you a very short update just on TechWays, some of the things that we're planning. I'm then going to introduce you to someone who is a little bit ahead of you, who wants to share his story, his tech story, and his sort of journey in the world of tech. And some of you guys might find it super inspiring. Some of you will learn something from it. I'm then going to introduce Kwazi. Kwazi is our help desk. He's the guy that is mostly him. There is another guy called Caleb, but Kwazi is the person that is always there helping you along the way. When you click on that little help button on all of the TechWays learning courses, it's Kwazi that's in the background. So it's good that you're going to meet him and see a little bit more about who our nominees are. I think you all know who the nominees are because we did share that. But then what the prize is and who our finalists are for each of the courses. Then we're actually going to go into a little bit of a presentation from our finalists, where we are sharing C#, what some of the build is around C#, what some of the build is with HTML and CSS and Unreal. So after further ado, I'm going to give you an update. So the first big update that I wanted to share, and please do interrupt me along the way if you guys have got any questions. But the big update is that we're wanting to make some changes to our courses. We're calling it courses 2.0. We consider the ones that we're on now, I mean, there were a little bit of issues somewhere along the line. There were some bugs. We fixed that, and we want to keep on asking you guys to share with us whenever there is a bug, because the quicker we hear about bugs, the quicker we can fix it. But one of the things that we want to build for next year is a little bit of a career questionnaire, where, I mean, like someone that's, Jason is 11 years old, for instance. It might be quite hard for someone that's young. Tabor, you guys are in grade 7. That's still quite young, you might not really know which course is going to be interesting for you. And so we want to build a little questionnaire where you can answer some very basic questions that are going to help to guide you into, okay, this course might be interesting for you based on how you answered your questions. The other thing that we're going to be adding is a lot more videos. So we had some amazing feedback from our St. Andrews learners, as well as Abigail, who's online with us today, talking about, I went in and observed the girls engaging with the courses, and one of the things that came back loud and clear is that we should be adding more videos, less text. And so how we're going to be using that for next year is we'll have mostly videos, and those that really want to dive deep into some of the text and, you know, explore more, there will be like a little, let's call it an online textbook that you can access and dive deeper into some of the concepts, but most of the work will be on the videos. You'll be able to follow along with the course by just watching the videos mostly. We're also going to be adding a commenting feature where every page you're going to be able to add a comment or say something. So if something is not quite clear to you on the page, it's a great way for you to say, like, let's say Keenan has got a question that actually is a very valid question that everyone needs to hear the answer to. You're going to be able to put that on the page, and then everyone can see that question. So as opposed to right now, when you are asking a question to Quasi, only Quasi gets to answer, and no one else gets to see the answer. So that will hopefully help as well. And then the last one is that we're adding some easier courses, not because, I mean, I know you guys have done really well on these courses, but we did get quite a lot of feedback from learners that aren't really wanting to be, you know, a computer scientist or engineer one day, but they want to know a little bit about programming. They want to know a little bit about game development, but they're not going to go into it as a career. And so we want to be able to bring some, I call them easier, but they're not as deep. They're not baby courses by no means. They will still be giving you like very serious programming knowledge, but you might not come out of that course and be able to say, like, go into a job of programming, but you will be able to say, I know what the concepts are in programming. So watch out for what those courses are. We're going to be releasing them, and maybe for even some of you guys that thought the course that you did, you want to go back a little bit and revisit some of the concepts, the easier courses might actually be valuable as well. Quasi, can I just ask you to please monitor the chat for me, because I can't I can't watch chat and talk, so I'm not such a good multitasker when it comes to that. Fabulous. So some of our courses that we are about to release, Python we're releasing in January, so that's on the data science pathway. We're releasing JavaScript on the front-end web development pathway, so that's going to be great both for game development as well as web development. And then lastly, we'll be adding a SQL databases module in Feb, and that's going to be helpful for both data science and web development. There are probably, I don't want to promise, but there are probably going to be more courses than this. But this is what I can promise. The other ones, we will just watch your email. You'll also see notifications on your TechWays My Account page when there are more courses being released. So watch those. The last thing I wanted to share is we're going to, and I would love you guys to sign up for this. This is where you can become like what we're calling a TechWays Explorer, where you can access some of the courses that are not yet released, and you can do some of our beta testing for us. Keenan, for instance, tells me that no matter what he does, he breaks everything that he, sorry, Keenan, that I'm sharing this. He breaks everything that he is working on. And that's sort of the kind of person, we need the people. I think, Abigail, you're also one of those people that you always find bugs, and that's what we need. We need to like see the bugs. So essentially, you know, this is what beta testing is about. It's like, you're actually going to wreck the course for us. And that's what we want. because rather wreck it before it is live. So we will send round, there will actually be a page on our website where you can sign up for beta testing. And this is also where we're going to pay close attention to our learners that are signing up for being beta testers, because those are the learners that will look at feeding opportunities for, you know, if there's little web development projects, or if there's like research things that we need internally, or even we've got some, I don't want to share it, but we've got some corporate partnerships coming online next year where we're going to have like little opportunities for you guys to do real work for real clients. And the beta testing group, whoever is signed up for beta testing, they are going to be the ones that will first be offered these kinds of opportunities. So just saying, I'm not forcing anyone to sign up to be a beta tester, but we'd love to have more of you. The final thing I wanted to share, and then I'm going to hand over, is our update on our events. Next year, we are going to, one of the events in March is one of our feature skills webinars, where we're talking about how technology is disrupting the construction and manufacturing industry. Now, for any of the parents or adults on the call, on the webinar now, you probably noticed how there's a huge supply chain issue in South Africa. We can't get steel, but that's just one thing. There's like a whole bunch of things that we are short of. And this is what this is meaning, is that manufacturing and the automation of manufacturing is starting to be a big opportunity area that we're seeing in South Africa. And the Automation Association of South Africa says, I had a meeting with them the other day, they need 500 people entering the market every year to be able to take up all the opportunities. There's such a shortage of people that can handle automation. So it's sort of engineering and automation. So that's what that webinar is going to be about. And then in April, we're going to be talking about, we're going to have Josh, a Wits computer science graduate that's doing some really interesting stuff. He's just graduated last year. And we're going to be talking about the various career pathways that are out there in tech. And then in May, we're going to have another one of these WOW Awards. So we hope to have you guys on that one as well. So yeah, stay tuned. What I would like to do is introduce you guys to, wait a minute. I'm just going to stop my sharing for a second. Have I stopped my sharing? No, am I still sharing, everyone? I can't tell. I'm still sharing. Okay, well, anyway, I'll keep on sharing until, but what I wanted to do now is just introduce you guys to Mark Weni from Infinity Tools. Mark is someone who is not that far ahead from you guys. I'm not going to steal his story, but I wanted to share, I wanted him to share some of his insights from his journey so far, and just chance for you guys to hear a little bit more. Mark, can I ask you to join?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
No, can you put your sound up, Mark? I hope we can hear you. We didn't test your sound. There we go.
Awesome, awesome. Hi, guys and girls, ladies and gents. As Joanne said, I'm Mark. I work for Infinity Tools. I'm going to share to you my story on how I became a programmer and how I started. I started in high school. I schooled at Leap Science and Med School. And also I'm a graduate at, I'm a former graduate at the Coding Ground, similar to TechWays, but it's more physical. So you go to a class and learn. So I want to tell you a story based on a quote. So I think this quote is a better definition of how my journey is or what I've went through. The quote says, difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. Growing up, I liked art. I liked being creative. I was once a dancer for a crew called Acid Lunatics. I got tired of that, and then when I was in grade 9, I designed a device. I called it Technobook. It's sort of like a tablet, along with a smartwatch. Back then, I think they weren't really popular. Um, Although the designs were a bit horrible, I still wanted to pursue that. That's why I got interested in learning about computers and what they do. And at school, I got an opportunity to choose IT as a subject. It was one of the choice subjects that we had. So I started out doing Scratch, and then during that time, I think it was our final project. It was our final project. We had to do games, and you had to come up with your own game. I wasn't really much of a gamer, but then I built a game that looked like Dungeon Crawler. I don't know if you guys know it. It looked like that. You had some enemies against you. You had some traps, um, and also it's like a maze. It looked very cool compared to the other kids' project. I scored the highest marks in class. That was the first time I scored the highest marks. And then from there, I became much more interested in learning about the softwares that Windows has, the importance of them. Still, we did that project and I got the highest marks. We went to grade 11 where we learned the hardest language ever back in the time, Delphi. It's a language called Delphi. It's a procedural programming language, sort of like OOP. It wasn't really fun to learn. It was very complex for us to understand, and we did not have a good teacher. So most of us failed, obviously, and I struggled the most with Delphi. So I struggled a lot. I even failed my matric. And I even failed IT during matric on my final year. That gave me some sort of anger. I got mad at myself because I did not really achieve what I wanted to achieve. And then I started going to Saturday classes to a sort of like Saturday school for programming. It was new, it was still starting out. It was called Sisonka Rising. So I learned Python there, and yeah, but it wasn't really, I couldn't really focus on it because I had other things to do. And until I started to, I wanted to take it more seriously. I wanted to become a professional programmer so that I can still build my device and the software for it. So I enrolled in the coding ground. I learned about the power of computers and software. You know, if you look at it now, computers and the internet run the world. It's an interesting space. So from there, I learned JavaScript. I learned a lot. I can't say all of them, but I learned different languages here. And still, I struggle programming, but then and with more practice, I started getting a hang of it. And when I got my first job / internship at an exchange, at a crypto exchange platform. I'm not sure if I should mention the name of it, but I'll
Why not?
It's called Vala. I don't know if you guys know it. Is any of you
I
interested
doubt
in
any of
crypto?
the learners online are trading in cryptocurrency. But anyone that is would have heard of Valor, I think.
Okay, so it's a pretty cool exchange. Yeah, and then now I work for Infinity Tools, and I'm currently working on a self-storage where a customer can come and apply for storage in whatever area they want.
Is that like a Uber for storage?
Yeah,
sort of.
it is.
Cool.
Yeah, sort of.
That's super exciting, Mark. I mean, what I find amazing about your story is when you and I were talking before, you said that when you were building that design of, I think it was the watch or whatever, you'd never even, been on the internet, which is quite phenomenal. The journey that you've had from never having been on the internet. I mean, Jason, 11-year-old, I mean, he's been on the internet from when he was probably like born. So it is phenomenal how far you've come, Mark, and what you're building. I mean, it would be lovely one day when we've got more time for you to show us some of the stuff that you've built. But we don't have a lot of time today. But thanks for sharing your story.
Awesome. Thanks.
Fabulous. I am now going to ask, call on Kwazi. Kwazi is going to be our presenter. I'm going to present Kwazi, but you will be the, sorry, wait, let me just start sharing again. You will be the announcer. And as I mentioned to you guys before, Kwazi is, there we go. Kwazi is our help desk, the guy behind help desk. He's also our web developer. So when anything goes wrong, like when we were on maintenance mode for the last, I think it was earlier this week for 24 hours, that is Kwazi's fault. Without further ado, Kwazi, let me hand over to you.
Guilty as charged. Hello, everyone. Kwazi, as Joanne has said, I'm going to head straight to our nominees for the night. And I think before I can go there, I would like to say what an amazing story that I've heard from Mark. Thank you for sharing. I wish I could dance like Mark can dance, but I'll get there at some point. We're gonna need a lot of celebration and dancing during this moment. It's the moment of jubilation. So I'm going to just go through the slides that we have. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So we've got nominees and the finalists that we're going to present to you. And as the quote is clearly specifying, it's not about who did the best or got the highest mark, because this is progressive. So anything is possible as well with time. So this is the criteria that was used to select the nominees and as well the finalists. So we were looking at the engagement. So that is, how well do you engage with the course? How well do you engage with your syllabus in that course that you're working on? So we're looking at that. We're looking at your attitude towards learning, because we see that through the activities that you do, because we basically are able to see all your progress as you go through the course, and your comments as well. That actually counts. The questions that you ask and all of that, it does count. It fits into this. And we also look at the failures and attempts. What a great way to be awarded. You also get awarded for all the attempts that you made and the failures thereof. So this is to say, do not be afraid to try something and fail it, because even that contributes towards your improvement, and it's also on our side. Therefore, we can see and we greatly appreciate and award those attempts and all of that. We also look at the commitment. So that is, you didn't maybe do the first lesson of, say, HTML or whichever course, and then you went and then you came back after 3 months, and you went and came back after 4 months. So that commitment is viewed in that, to say you are still able to, while you have your work that you do from school, you're still able to fit in this, I would say, extra work that you have to do. That commitment is very key, because it also helps in a way that once you learn something now, if you come back 3 weeks or 5 weeks later, chances are you would have forgotten. So it's very important when you started to try by all means to keep going, show that commitment, but not only to show it to us, but it's very helpful to you. So that's why we award that's doing. And then ultimately, we were also looking at consistent progression, which is almost the same as commitment. So we are looking at, you are progressing consistently, like you are working. There's no like much space in between, which, I mean, I understand at times there might be something that's just beyond your control. So then you probably slack a little bit, but when you're back, you are visible that you are back and you're pushing, and there's some progress that is consistent. So that's what, that's the criteria we're using when we were selecting the nominees and the finalists. So I'm going to ask, I'm not sure if we are all fine with this, but I'll ask that as we go forth, we will need some celebration, some drum roll. If you have a table next to you, you can give some drum roll right there. And yeah, as we celebrate the people who are going to be the finalists. However, without any further ado, let us proceed to the next slide. Joanne?
I think I have a drum roll.
All right, Joanne has got some drum roll for us. So drum roll, please. All right. So we can, I'm going to, let me just make sure my screen is 100% showing me all the names that I need. All right, so as you all can see, we have nominees for C#, and we have got Kenan, we've got Jason, we've got Miyabele, we've got Kwanele, we've got Saisha, there is Phoebe, there is Later, and there is Bonita. So can I please get some drum roll as we get ready to announce the winner for C#?
Is that good enough, Kwazi? Everyone else, drum roll. Come, drum roll,
please,
come
everybody. That's what I'm talking about. And then the winner is Kenan for this one. Congratulations, Kenan.
Woo! Well done, Kenan.
Congratulations, Kenan.
I think we have some fireworks. Woo!
All right.
Maybe,
Test
I don't
if
know.
they're audible. It's not, the audio is not coming through.
Audio is not coming through. Oopsie. Okay.
All right, but we can proceed. I believe we've got enough people in the room to give us some more drum roll. So for HTML and CSS, we have got Akona, we've got Anastasia, there's Andrew, there's Tirumalo, there's Naledi, there's Seth, there's Babish, and there's Tabor. And can I please?
And wait, you missed out Connor.
Oh, sorry, there is, yeah, this Zoom is hiding the last name. All right. And then ultimately we've got Connor. Thank you so much. All right. Is anybody ready? Can I please get some drum roll right now? Let's take a bit for the winner for HTML and CSS. I'm not hearing any drum rolls, beloved. And the winner is Tirumalo.
Woo, Tirumalo! Yay! Well done. We have some more fireworks.
So see the fireworks, but so far we cannot hear it. So maybe to assist us with that, everyone can unmute your mic and we're going to give some drum roll for the next run again. All right. The nominees for Unreal are Kito, there is Pebbley, there is Tabor, and there is Jason. Now, can I please get some drum roll for this one again? Get ready for the winner for Unreal is Jason winner.
Jason, yay! Well done.
Well done, Jason.
Wait, let's see. I think we've got a final.
That's some celebration mode right there. Lovely.
Whoa, we don't need it again.
Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you, everyone. And well done to the nominees. Just because you guys didn't get the finalist award this time, we are going to have many of these. Every quarter, there's a chance for you to be a finalist. So please don't give up hope just because you didn't win this time round. The finalists are all going to get 500 Rand in cash. And in future, maybe we will have some cooler prizes. I don't know, can't promise, but yeah, very well done to those that won. What we are going to do now, though, is ask one of our finalists, the C# finalist, Keenan, if I can ask you to please share, because this is not just about the win. It's not just about, you know, what marks you got. It's about the learning process that you guys went through in order to, you know, grapple with C# or Unreal or whatever it is. And so what Keenan is going to be sharing is a little bit of what he has been building. And I must tell you that a lot of our learners are doing more than what the TechWays courses is asking them to do. They're doing other stuff that is, I mean, you'll see, I'm not going to steal the thunder. But so without further ado, I want to hand over to Keenan. Keenan, I'm not doing it to beast mode. I'm doing it to the other one, hey?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to make you host. If you could share your screen and share a little bit about what you have been building.
Okay, so my name is Kynan Eaton. I am a grade 9 student at Redham House of Schlanga here in Durban. So when I went onto this little project, which is, it isn't to do with TechWays, it's just another side thing that I decided I wanted to do. It was to create a little piece of C# code that would be used in a game when generating a new character. So whenever someone joins a game or there's new enemies within a game, there's all this behind the scenes stuff that happens to create the character that you see in game. So to do this, I first had to think what I would want this code to do. So in this case, I wanted it to have defined properties that every type of character would have at the start. Then I had to create the code, and last, most annoying part is debugging. But yeah, I have little things on the side here to show you like little ideas of what could happen in the end once I had a game at the end. So some of the mistakes I had made when I was busy doing my code was when creating classes, I often I put them in the wrong order. But luckily, to actually look at all my mistakes, Visual Studio Code has a little indicator thing that it tells you that you've made a mistake there. Another one is capitalization. C# respects capital letters very much. So if you use the wrong, if you don't do a capital letter where it needs capital letter, it doesn't work. And the most common and most stupid mistake is forgetting a semicolon. It's like,
I know, Keenan. I swear, everyone I speak to, all the learners say they always forget the semicolon. It's not just you.
It's the most annoying thing, but again, Visual Studio Code is very helpful. It tells you that you missed the semicolon. So one of the challenges I had was figuring out like how the values would be stored. So like how any information, whether it's like the amount of health it has, character has, or damage it does, how that would get stored before going into everything. And the other one was one that I sadly couldn't actually finish. I couldn't figure out how to do this one. I'm probably going to keep trying to figure out how to do it, but it was to create custom names for like the characters within a loop. So that would be to automatically generate some characters. So if you entered an area having 5 enemies spawn, you can't have them all under the same name, otherwise they're just gonna all have linked variables. So what I had built was this on the left here. I put little boxes to separate what is into other sections. So the first one up here was to make a class that every single type of character would have. So in this case, I just did the hitbox. So every character within the game has the same hitbox. Then I made all the derived classes. Derived class is like a class that uses the main class's variable information and then can add more onto it. So in this case, I just added health points and damage to 3 types of characters. After that, I had to create new characters for every derived class. So I had to make a new player, a new enemy, and a new boss. And then this last one was just so that I could get an outcome for this, because I don't currently have a full game that I could look at the outcome in. So this is just to give like a little written text of what everything is. So these are the results I had. I just put in some, so I just chose like play at random and one of its things. So it's player health, which was 20 health points, enemy attack damage, which was 1 attack damage, and the boss's hitbox, which was in that case 500 by 100 by 100 pixels. Yeah, that's everything I have. If anyone has some questions, you can feel free to shout out now, or if you wish, you can message me through our Discord server. Top right there.
That is awesome, Keenan. I mean, yeah, I don't know if anyone has got questions. We might not have time for lots of questions, but one question, a burning question. Anyone got a burning question?
Okay.
Just one question.
Quasi.
Hello?
So in the last code that you showed us, is it the game that you're working on currently, or it's one of the previous games you've done?
It's a little thing I'm working on at the moment, so I haven't got anywhere to actually like put any of the code into, but I will probably use this in the future for something.
Mm-hmm. All right, no, thank you. Just wanted to say, if I'm not sure if you were planning to put some graphics on it, and If you are, I'd like to know later on, or we can get in touch, and then just so that we can see what we can do. I'd basically like to check out the progress of that. Thank you.
Totally. We'd love to share what you've done, Keenan. So do share it as soon as you figure it out. And if you want to ask Kwazi for any loop advice, you're welcome to.
Would be very helpful.
I've handed over to Tidimalo. If I can ask Tidimalo just to share your HTML journey a little bit. I think you've got hosting rights.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Tidi.
Hi.
Okay. I am Tidimalo Mokake. I attend Sutherland High School and I'm in grade 11. So I want to actually have a career within IT, but I'm not too sure what exactly I want to do. So TechWays has given me a platform to get an idea of what each career path is and to gain a few skills within each career path. So the first course that I did was HTML and CSS, which is coding for a website. And the reason why I did this course is because everything that we do these days, we use a website. Online shopping, Instagram is a dynamic website. We use websites to find information. So I was curious to know what goes behind creating a website. So that was my goal. And how I went about it was doing the course on TechWays. And as I went through the content, I got to learn different things about a website. And whenever I went onto websites, I was able to know that, oh, so that means over here they used this. And I was also able to identify what did I like about the website, so that in future, if I were to create more websites of my own, I know what are the things that people put into websites to make the users enjoy the experience. And yes, so what makes the users enjoy the experience, so that I can include the same in my website. So a few challenges that I faced as I was doing this course was I did not save my code externally. So on the TechWays platform, they have a place where you do your code and you run it from there. But then I didn't save it outside of the program that they gave us, which made me to lose all the code and I had to retype it. So now I know, always save your code somewhere else and to regularly save your code. Another thing is errors, like Keenan mentioned, that sometimes you forget the small little things and you're so lost in all the code trying to figure out what it is that you don't see the small mistake. So in the red square, there is the bracket. And if you don't include something like closing the bracket, the code that you typed may not work and you'll wonder why. Another challenge was time. As a grade 11 student with the subjects that I do have, school was a lot. Grade 11 was really a tough year, I would say, but I was able to complete it and get through it. So in the beginning, I did try to put an hour a day to go onto TechWays and to continue with the course, although there was a time, and I wish I had tried to make time for TechWays, but there was a time where it was so much for me that I took a break and I didn't go on the platform for a while. But whenever it was school holidays, I was able to come back and continue. So those are challenges that I did face. So what I built it on Visual Studio Code and it ran with Chrome. Let me show you what I have. So this is Visual Studio Code, and this is where all the code of my website went on. So this is the code as I go down, and when I run it, it actually creates a whole new website, and this is the website that I've created. Yes?
We can't see your Visual Studio.
Oh, okay. Let me try sharing that. Okay. So this is Visual Studio. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Visual Studio, and this is the code that went behind the website. So as I go down, this is the code that I have so far. And when I run it, it creates a whole new website where all my information and all my code comes to life. And the assignment was to create a website which asks NASA for help. And it warns NASA about the meteorite that is about to hit the Earth, and we need their help. And so this is the content, asking NASA what we need help with for more information. And there's actually...
Tidimalo, sorry, have you clicked run? Because we're not seeing the run version, we're just seeing the code.
Let me try sharing my screen again.
Just share your desktop screen as opposed to the a specific, okay, now we see it, yeah.
Okay, let me start that again. Okay, so this is Visual Studio Code, and then when I run it, it creates the website. And okay, so I'm sure you did hear what the website was about. And just to get a brief of what I have so far, this is the website. This is a video. And if I continue going down, there's a table with additional information. And when you click on the link, it actually takes you to a whole different website, which I found very cool. And then this is a contact us form. And also at the bottom where it says you can send us an email, if you were to click on that, it actually opens your email app and you can send an email directly from there. So that is my website that I created, and I really enjoyed sharing it with you guys. Thank you. And sorry for the few glitches or not seeing my screen, but that's what I have. Thank you.
That's awesome, Tidimalo. Thank you so much. I think you guys must agree that was a great presentation, and great presentation from Keenan. I've been saying your name wrong the whole damn time. Sorry, Keenan, not Keenan. Tidimalo, that was awesome, and it's really great to see. I mean, Tidimalo styled everything herself, all of the colors, everything there. She has created that herself, and I'm sure as you work on it more, you're going to be doing more funky colors and making it more, even more exciting. But it's really good job, Tidimalo. The last person that I want to introduce is Jason. Now, Jason, I'm making you host. Jason is 11 years old. So, Jason, you're in grade 5, I believe. Am I right? You're muted, Jason. Yes, sorry, no, you unmute again?
Yes, ma'am, I am in grade 5.
I mean, it's phenomenal. Jason's going to share with you, but he has gone through almost all the courses that TechWays has to offer. So, Jason, do you want to share your screen, and then you can take us through your Unreal learning journey?
Yes. Let me just wait for it to load.
Loaded.
Hi, my name is Jason. I am 11 years old. This year I started at Evolve.Online. After they noticed my love for coding and editing, they decided to enroll me at TechWays in July. I want to thank my principal, Mr. Colin, Mrs. Laura, Mrs. Liesel, and all the other teachers at Evolve for seeing me and noticing my potential. The people in TechWays has given me a nickname, Jason the Whiz Kid. I'm very flattered by that. Thank you, Mrs. Joanne and Quasi, for always helping me and kindly showing me the way. I completed all 6 courses I was assigned: Microsoft HTML and CSS, Linux Essentials, Cyber, PHP with Zend, Unreal Engine 4, Blender, and Power BI. Out of all the courses, Unreal was my favorite. Someday I will make tons of games. I wanted to build a skin, avatar, or character that is able to move and do basic tasks. I had to think of a character that can move, turn around, and look up and down. I had to figure out how to create all this characters, or just the character. I had to think. I had a lot of research on. One of the places I was on is YouTube. One day I'd like to create a channel that would help people like me to build games. I worked on Blueprints. Blueprints helps you code your character, among other things, telling it when and how to move. Blueprints is easier to code than in Unreal. Blueprints is basically a better coding system than JavaScript because it's so much easier to understand. I was failing. The idea changed a lot and I got tired uploading my MetaHuman. It's a lifelike character into Unreal. It gave me errors and I was struggling to understand Blueprints and my time was running out. I think if I had more time, I would have figured it out. But because of this, I had to simplify my idea. After some more research, I finally got my character working. My biggest challenge was time. I have big ideas and getting them coded and working in a limited time is very hard. To overcome this, I had to simplify my outcome goals and to do a lot more research. This is what I was able to create. I'm putting my character in the capsule. A spring arm is where you can tell the camera to follow the character. This is the blueprints. As I said, it was very easy to understand. This is the animation raft. When I drag it here, it's in its resting place. And when I drag it a little bit up, it will be in its running animation. This is the animation blueprints. It's telling if it's running and stop running. And this is what I was achieving. I can look up, down, walk with my animation and turn around and look around. And when I stop, it's in its resting place.
That's amazing, Jason. Is this your animation that you've added just at the end? I think all the finalists, Jason, you especially, need a serious round of applause. That was amazing. I mean, really, I love that. I am just going to reclaim the hosting rights, but I mean, for those of you guys that are still online with us, that didn't get to present, I mean, it's this kind of presentation of the process that you go through when you are walking the road of what you did, what your goals were, what some of the challenges were. I mean, this is preparing you for the way that eventually you're going to be presenting to a boss one day. I mean, you know, bosses are not only concerned about what you built, they're also concerned about what were some of the challenges that you experienced along the way. How did you go about solving some of those challenges? What were the thinkings that you did in order to achieve the outcome? And so for us at TechWays, it's not just about what you built at the end. I mean, it was amazing to see what you guys have built as well, but it's most important for us to see your journey and how and how you failed, because failing is something that we all go through, and it's the only way that you're going to learn, really, is if you are failing along the way. So we celebrate failure, but we also do love to see what you guys have been building. So I wanted to just say thank you for the bravery of the finalists who did come and present. I think someone that's as old as Jason, you were telling me the other day that in your year, you might have a 5-minute presentation that you would have to do, you know, at school. Kynan, you were saying also about 5 minutes is the presentation oral that you've got to do. Look at what you guys have just achieved, like a 10-minute presentation that you presented on a webinar to a whole bunch of parents and teachers, and just seriously, well done. I'm really, really proud of you guys. And thank you everyone for, yeah, we need the drum roll again. Come, drum roll everyone, unmute and drum roll.
When I drum roll, my mic doesn't pick it up. Zoom's too good.
Drum roll everyone, well done. Thank you, thank you. And I just want to also say thank you to Laura, who I see is online, and Abigail, and who, I don't see anyone else from our schools, but you guys are also really instrumental in helping the learners in the background. You know, we don't get to see it as much as with Kwazi, but we know you're there supporting us along the way. We really do appreciate it. I also just wanted to say thank you. Is Jason still online with us? No, the other Jason. But to Renewa and Kwazi, who are staff with me at TechWays. Renewa is building our new courses for us. He is sort of managing the e-learning side, and Kwazi is the web developer managing the help desk. There are lots of opportunities for you guys, learners, on the platform as well. Kynan can report. There has already been little projects that Kynan has done for us, and there will be opportunities like that coming in the future. So watch the space. It was lovely having you all online with us. Have a lovely evening. You're welcome to stay online and chat if you've got any questions. But officially the webinar is over. Thanks everyone.
Thanks so much, Joanne. It's awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Well done, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Mark as well for joining again. Bye.
I find it really cool that Jason's in like grade 5 and he's making games. That's like,
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, my son is 8, and you know, that's only 3 years younger.
oh, it's very impressive. Jeez.
Yeah.
When I was in grade 5, I barely understood how to just do basic things on a computer. Yo.
No, but don't discount what you guys are doing. I mean, you've got adults. I mean, I see Christina's still online with us. Christina's an ex-IT teacher from St. Stithians, and she can attest to the fact that there are adults out there that know nothing about programming and would never be able to achieve what you guys have done. So no, I mean, it's phenomenal what all of you guys are doing, and you must go check on our website. We post your projects every now and then. Like when we see something interesting, we post it online. So go check out under, I think it's called Our Students or something like that.
Students Projects.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to head out. Hope everyone has an amazing afternoon or evening.
Bye.
You guys too. Bye everyone.
Guys.
And who is Husky? Husky and Precious. I never got to introduce hear who you guys were. We've got Precious connecting to audio. Hi Precious, hi Husky. Nice to have you guys with us. I don't know your